I'm about to introduce you to the brother who owns this soul restaurant. From here, Ghana, do marvelous things. You see the restaurant, it's a beautiful place. Let's check it out. Greetings and welcome to the Entrepreneur Circle. Today we are with Mr. Kuntu at Soul Restaurant. My brother, how are you?
I'm great.
Do me a favor.
Yeah.
Say your name how you it's meant to be said.
My whole name.
What's your name?
Okay, my name is Kwesi Kuntu Asante. Yeah, so Kuntu for short.
Right.
Because it's a long and heavy name.
It's serious.
So
what's the background?
Kuntu is the first in the line of kings from the Ofori painting stool in the eastern region. That's kind of my life,
Exactly.
you know?
Exactly. So what part of Accra are you from?
I'm currently in Jolu.
But where, as a young
I grew up in Kanda Estates. Yeah, big up Kanda Nima. You know?
And what high school did you go to?
I went to the best in the whole country, which is Achimota Secondary School.
Yeah, they just allowed
Number one.
You heard about the situation?
I did, and I wasn't pleased at all.
Which part weren't you pleased with?
Well, I mean, are you kidding me? Here you have Rasta youth or even a youth with dreads. What does a hairstyle actually have to do with school or learning? Furious with that. And in fact, my homeboy Reggie Rockstone, he went to that school. He says he's not dealing with them again. That's my boy. You know,
he stood up.
He did. So I wasn't pleased because that's a colonial mentality.
Exactly.
And as educators, man, they should be more open. I mean, their mind should be more open to that.
Exactly.
But unfortunately, it wasn't. So,
well,
but still,
that is some of the challenge that we still deal with.
So thank you very much. Madam, appreciate that. All right, thank you. Yeah, right. Unfortunately.
So you went to Achimota. When did you leave Ghana?
I left Ghana.
You traveled there. Why did you travel?
All right. I left Ghana at the age of 15. My father was a diplomat at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. So he got posted, that's what they call it, to New York.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a major post, right?
He was also a lawyer. So he was the counselor at the Ghana High Commission to the United Nations. But I did do high school there.
What college did you go to?
I went to Rutgers in the beginning. Yeah.
What did you study there?
I was doing pre-med.
Really?
Yeah, really. Really?
So what? Was that your desire, or was that something you?
No, I didn't even know what my desire. My desire was to play football, soccer.
Right.
But my father says you're going to be a doctor, and so I did pre-med. Yeah.
How long did that last?
1 year.
Right.
1 year.
So what was the evolution? What did you?
There was a military coup in Ghana at that time. 1980, I don't know, 1, 82.
Okay.
I think.
So
81.
you were a senior.
Yeah. So things changed.
Right.
So my father was recalled. Actually, he was recalled to Accra, but then sent to Côte d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast, as the chargé d'affaires sort of ambassador there. So school, became difficult to kind of pay for it.
Right.
So I went to work for a bit before I went back to school. Subsequently, years later, that's what's up.
So
yeah.
you went to Ivory Coast. When did you decide to come back to Ghana?
Oh,
Or
okay,
did
no.
you come right
Actually, no, I went to Ivory Coast about 6 months.
Okay.
Just to visit my parents, and then went back to America.
Okay.
This is about 84, 83, 84. So I went back to America.
Which part of America is that?
Brooklyn, Cooking in the house, baby.
Right.
Flatbush Avenue, yo. You know what I mean? Yeah.
How long were you there?
I was on Flatbush until 1992. It was really a learning because I found myself in Brooklyn. And when I say found myself, I mean found myself as to my identity, which is interesting, isn't it? I mean, which is it's a real dichotomy because you're from Africa, you're born in Africa, but you didn't really learn about yourself or Africa. You learned it in the new world from Africans from the diaspora who, you know,
so were you well received? Did they embrace you?
Oh yeah, no. You see, that's the difference. People, for example, Jamaicans, I think, because of Marcus Garvey, Bob Marley, just the Rasta influence, not only in Jamaica but in the Caribbean.
Right.
But I would say Jamaica more so because of the origin, with the Marcus and back to Africa and so on. It doesn't matter which Jamaican you're talking to, at least when I was there. Once they knew you were from Africa, you were their brother regardless if they were a rude boy or they were a Rasta or what. So they were very, very embracing. And so were other Caribbean people who knew what time it was. The Haitians, they loved Africans because they just had that connection automatically through their religion and everything. Yeah, so
you're saying
it was very, very uplifting. Yeah, because you read books, you spoke to people that knew stuff, people that could direct you in the right direction, and it's really the reading, the authors, people that study the history, and then you are able to learn about yourself, which gave me more confidence because you're in America. There's a lot going on. You're buffeted by all this stuff. There's lots of things going on, racism and so on and so forth. You have to stand firm in order to achieve what you need to achieve. And if you know about your history, and you know that we've done things, we've achieved things, and everything is a cycle, up down, then you have no problem. So that really helped a lot. Yeah.
When did you get your feet wet? When did you start doing business? What kind of business were you doing?
Oh well.
How can you tell us?
Well, I guess certain things would have to remain. How should I say? Unsaid.
Right.
Yes, but I worked and I went to school.
Okay.
I always worked a full-time job, went to school full-time. I got married early, so I was a father at about 21. Yeah, so I had to take care of my business. So it was work, school. I even worked at one time for every day, 7 days a week, for maybe 10 years. And 7 days a week. I worked 2 jobs.
Tell us, how many people do that over there? They think we go over there. No, I didn't go.
That is routine.
That is contemplation. So now that well, first of all, you are there, you say roughly 10, 20, how many years were you
I lived in the States for 32 years, my brother. 32, yeah, it's a long time.
So when did you decide to come home?
Well, I remember my sister or a relative would come to Ghana. I used to come maybe every other year or so. The normal 2-3 weeks, have fun, and then when I'm heading back, I'll be sad at the airport because I'm like, I'm going back to America. So I was one of those people that I guess because I went there as a teenager, I was ready to move back home at some point. And so she would say, she's on the plane, and there are a lot of foreigners on the plane.
Coming to
Indians, Chinese, all excited.
Coming to Ghana.
Coming to Ghana. And she's like, yeah, they're coming, they're doing business, they seem to be doing it. And so I was like, you know what? Let me sort of gear towards, at that time my kids are, they finished college and all that. They're independent. And then working in Brooklyn, I worked at Brooklyn Hospital. Yeah, I was in the radiology business, CAT scans, MRIs, that kind of stuff. Sometimes lunch break in the evening, I'm wearing my hospital attire, my scrubs, lab coat. You walk down the street, some white lady sees you, then she crosses over the other side. You sit in the train, maybe you sit next to somebody coming from Coney Island, a white person, and then they move aside. It was like they've been taught to be afraid of black people, especially of a black male. And you know what? I was getting sick of this overt racism, and then the racism that wasn't so overt. I was like, wait a minute. I actually have somewhere to go home. So what am I doing here after all these years? So those were the things that pushed me. I was like, you know what? I've spent so many years here, worked hard, did whatever I could do, raised my kids. One's a lawyer, one has a master's, and my other son is going to college now. And I was like, I think it's time for me to go back home and see what I can do back home. Yeah. So
what year was that?
That was 2012, but I came in 2013.
Okay.
Yeah. So around 2012, I started thinking about it. Came back for a visit for about a month. Spoke to people, told my parents. They were happy.
Your parents are still with us?
Yeah,
Excellent.
yeah. They were happy.
So what made you decide to get into the restaurant business?
All right. My plan all along was to get into the restaurant business
Really?
in Ghana. Yeah.
Okay.
And actually, I was like, I know Caribbean food. I like Caribbean food. So I'll do a restaurant where I can have some Caribbean dishes.
Now, where did you learn? I mean, of course, you learned in Brooklyn.
Yeah,
but
I did.
When did you start cooking?
I started cooking years ago in Brooklyn.
Okay.
Yeah, with the help of people from Trinidad. I had a neighbor from Trinidad.
Okay.
So I asked him how to do a curry. He said, do this, do that. I did it. He even came in before I finished. He said, I like the smell. He tasted it. I was like, this isn't bad. I took it from there. Never went to culinary school, even though I wish maybe I had. But cooking shows, practicing recipes, New York Times recipe, trying different things out, and that was it. And then eating out in different, New York, you know what time it is.
Right.
More than 30,000, 40,000 restaurants from everywhere in the world.
Exactly.
I went everywhere.
Right.
I did it all, Asian, African, Ethiopian, everything.
Okay.
So I know how a certain dish should taste, and that's really helped me.
So you really just dove in head first.
Yeah, I dove in. Maybe that's probably not the best way to do it. I don't think, because I think with hindsight now,
Right.
if you are getting into a business, especially if you're coming from abroad, you can, apart from writing a business plan, because I did, I've always been big on that, you can get experts to actually do some research in whatever industry you're in, if you can afford it. That's the thing, you see. You may not even have enough money to start your business. These guys, they're not cheap. Yeah. But if you can get, or even speak to people in the business, if they're honest about the pros and cons, that's very helpful. Yeah, you have to sort of study the industry. And then I decided that, I think it's time to get into the food business. but not a restaurant per se. I had a food stand at School Junction. I don't know if you know. Got on to Zoom Lion. It was a junction on School Junction. I was, yeah, with the help of another group, and then we'll sell it. We'll try and get there by 11, sell it, and then come back home and do it the next day.
Okay. And how did that go? How was that business?
Well, it wasn't profitable because I just didn't know. I didn't know how to actually do that business.
Right.
You know, people compliment the food. In fact, people are like, "Oh, the food is so good. You shouldn't be here." That's what they told me. They said, "Nah, find somewhere next to the university." Like, why? I said, "No, the food is too good. You should." You know, but we did it for about 5-6 months.
Okay.
It was backbreaking because we get up at night, have to wash the stuff. They have to wake up at like 4 or 5 in the morning.
Well, I mean, you make a point.
Yeah.
Because you were new to the business. You knew to the industry.
I didn't know. I didn't know the tricks of the trade.
Right.
Yeah. Right. I didn't know it.
I find that most entrepreneurs, it's a passion that they have for doing something that drives them.
Yeah.
Not necessarily all the background information prior.
No.
So most of us generally leap in and find out backwards, which it sounds like that's also what you do.
That's what happened.
Right.
That can be costly.
Yeah.
That can actually derail your dream, which is why I'm saying, and I know you agree, you have to really do some research before you get into a particular business. If you have that luxury, you know. If you live in Ghana, you've saved up some money or you got some help from some relatives or whatever, you may know where you're going more so than someone coming from abroad.
Right.
Whether you're Ghanaian or not, or even you're in, of the diaspora, you're African, American, you're Afro-Caribbean, whatever, you don't live here. It's a different ballgame. Yeah. So you need to really spend some time and then try and figure out.
Okay, so you managed to survive for the first 5-6 months. What did you do after that?
Well, I called it quits. It was too demanding. I wasn't making any money. I called it quits, and with the help of some relatives, actually one relative actually, I got the money together and opened a restaurant in Ringway Estate.
You didn't call it quits. You stepped up.
I didn't call it quits. Well, I called it quits from that particular
that spot
and that kind of business model.
Okay. So what gave you the confidence to know that? Okay, if you weren't profitable here, what made you think you might be profitable in that grander scale?
Okay.
You said you moved to Osu.
Yeah, Ringway Osu near Greenleaf Hotel.
And
so it's Ringway, but it's sort of Osu.
Once you mention Osu, once you're in that neighborhood, I was there, so I know where the restaurant is.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a prime retail.
Yeah, it is.
Prime
real
estate. So
it is.
It's a major investment. It's a major. It takes a confidence.
I figured that once I got a decent location, furnish it nicely, and then now we can really cook the type of dishes that I thought people would be interested in.
You say you thought. Wow.
Well, at the School Junction place, it was limited. Rice and chicken, that kind of stuff. We couldn't do coconut curry, or sea snail, or that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So it was different. So we're trying to now do a proper restaurant.
Okay. So we're in Osu. This is where you actually cut your teeth in the business. You got a nice location. Like I said, that's where I got to know the restaurant.
Yeah.
There's a friend of mine who came from out of town.
Yeah.
Who actually took me there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it had its name. It had its appeal.
Yeah.
Now you're not in Osu now. You're in East Legon now.
Yes.
Again, another prestigious real estate.
Well,
Clearly, you've stepped up from that to this.
yeah.
How was that first endeavor, and also what was that like?
All right. It was good in the beginning. The problem there was the location.
Okay.
Why? It wasn't on the main road.
Right.
It was in a residential cul-de-sac
Right.
where you had to turn here, turn there, turn there. I think that was my problem as far as I know, was the location. If maybe we were on Oxford or off Oxford Street or somewhere near the action, I think would have done better. Because I just saw after we opened up 2016 official opening, 2015 June soft opening, we started doing some deliveries and stuff. By 2018, business was stagnant, tapering off. So for me, it was the location.
Okay.
Location wasn't
Ideal.
ideal for that kind of business. Yeah. So when the lease was up, we gave it up, and then I decided that we'll look for somewhere in East Legon, and then finally.
But yeah, I mean that you still showed a great deal of resolve.
Well, yeah, because I didn't.
What gave you again that confidence? What did you see from doing that?
Yeah, I took a break, but then I was doing some lunches from the house, delivery. And, what gives the confidence is the people's appreciation for maybe a particular dish. Or somebody, like a guy from India saying, this is the best curry I've had outside my mother's curry. And he's asking, like, how did you do it? Or, a Caribbean guy come and say, this is some really good jerk. So you're like, all right, so I think we know how to execute the dishes.
Right.
Maybe if we get the location right, get the service right, and that kind of stuff, everything will gel, and then we can laugh to the bank, huh?
Yes,
All right.
Exactly. That's the whole point.
That's what we're in business for, right? So, so that's what's up.
So you were there for a couple of years. And
Yeah.
then you found this place.
Yeah. After 2019, we closed up in Ringway Osu.
That's right. That was around. It was right on time, actually. Did you open this before 2020?
No. Opened one in my hometown, Chevy.
Right. So you went from Osu to Chevy to Osu.
Yeah.
Now tell me why. I mean, first of all,
Yeah.
of course, no disrespect to the
Yeah.
village, but it's the village.
Yeah.
So
Well, yeah.
there's money there.
All right. Chevy is it's a small town.
Right.
It's not a big town. It's a small town,
Okay.
but it's not a bucolic village, so to speak. Things go on there. There are things.
Tell me.
Yeah.
I know there are some towns. Which town is this? Is this? There's a town where all the traders.
But it's Sumum.
I'm not sure.
It probably is. You may have heard of.
Where they have the Easter celebration.
Oh no. Okay. You mean you're talking in the mountains. You're talking about Kou.
Exactly.
Okay, Chebi is before
Okay,
Kou.
but is it similar in that it has people of a certain stature that maybe they flock back home or they send funds or?
Some. Kou is a different ball game. It's a different ball game.
Right.
Kou, a lot of Kou people are big business people.
Exactly.
In fact, if you look at the who's who in Ghanaian business, I would say a big, maybe a majority. And I'm sure, in fact, I have to say a majority come from those mountains. And so, they go back. They have palatial mansions. So it's different. But Chebi is an hour and change from Accra.
Okay.
You have a lot of people that have done well, whether in academia or business or whatever.
Okay.
So they come home regularly.
Okay.
People build houses, not on the scale of those multi-millionaires from Kou,
Right.
but nonetheless, and then having the history that it has. And so people come, especially on the weekends. Also, in Ghana, funerals are big on the social calendar. So at the end of the month, last Saturday of the month, when the funerals in Chebi, it means there's an influx of people from Accra, especially depending on who unfortunately passed away or who, whatever. So then business picks up. So it's steady. Business is steady, because you have people that order. They liked what I brought there, which was really an upgrade on the entertainment scene. Not to disrespect anyone who was there before, but it was just a step up. A step up. And then because of that, actually, others in the game have also stepped their game up, which is to the benefit of the community. So I don't have a problem with that.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's what's up. That's why we moved.
So how is that business up there?
It's steady. It's steady. We can do better, like in any other business. I'm not crying about it. I feel that we've positioned ourselves there, I would say, ahead of the game in a sense, because there are a lot of different things happening in the area. I think it's a university, big university down some kilometers away.
What's the name of that?
It's a university, Kuntu, some kind of is it some environmental university or something of that sort. I have to really look at it. But there are different things happening. Other people are also investing in the town. A sports hotel. There's actually I play tennis. There's a sports center with volleyball, basketball, tennis, swimming pool. I think a little size. Yeah, so things are picking up, which means that we'll become more relevant anyway. So if we were ahead of the game, then hopefully the game will catch up and then we can go with it. So I don't have a problem, and that's the hometown. So we want to be there.
Is that where mom and dad is also?
No, they're in Accra, but that's where my mom is from, and that's where I spent. Oh yeah, my youth. As I say, the halcyon days, the best times of my life. Wading in the river, catching crabs, fishing, swimming, fruit, trees, mangoes, pineapple. It was great childhood. Yeah, I wouldn't trade.
So then when did you? So that means you opened Chebi 2020 thereabouts, prior to the lockdown.
Yeah, because Chebi, it's about 3 years old, isn't it? Yeah, it was definitely prior to the lockdown.
Okay.
It's 3 or 4 years old. I can't remember.
How did the lockdown affect you in the village?
We locked down.
Oh really?
Well,
I mean, I say that because I know on the outskirts of Accra things were different. A lot of things kept.
Yeah. No, I try to follow the rules and regulations. Here we are. We have this COVID thing. We don't even know what time it is. We just see people getting it. Some people passing away, and so on and so forth. And so we're like, all right, you don't have to shut down completely. You can just have people order food, and then they sit outside because we have a big pergola. Most of the dining is outside, even though we had a nightclub upstairs. So the nightclub we closed, and it was just picking up too, man. Yeah, it's called the Leopard Lounge. Yeah, it was picking up. People were feeling it, and COVID came, so we shut that down. And then we're doing deliveries, not deliveries, but pickups for until they said we could open up.
Okay.
So yeah, it did affect. Also, I was doing deliveries from the house in Accra.
Oh.
Yeah. So when COVID came, I took my own decision. I was like, you know what? Let's close it up, man. In fact, people were like, why? I was like, because. It's probably the best thing to do. So that never picked up again. And then found this location. So that's what's up.
So you So you started this there after the lockdown.
Yeah, this was oh wow, we've been open. We opened December. Is it December? Yeah, December 2021. So what is it? 8 months? Yeah, eight,
Nice.
9 months.
Nice.
Yeah, it's about 8 months.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was after.
And how do you come up on this location? Like I said, it's prime real estate.
Yeah.
Hottest spots. In
Yeah.
Accra.
Luck and people's goodwill. Yeah, so through a friend who knew person who owned it and so on, we got it up. Nice
Now,
deal. Yeah.
You have 2 restaurants.
Yeah.
I didn't know that the other one had a nightclub. So the nightclub is back on.
Maybe we just had a festival, Boom Festival,
Okay.
which is like Ojura that's going on at Kopong and so on and so forth. Yeah, I opened it up then because there were people in town and so on and so forth. But it hasn't come back like how it used to come back.
Our currency is losing value.
Yeah, boy.
At a rate that is baffling.
It's alarming. I don't understand why, and I don't
I mean, we
I don't
have
know.
gold, we have oil. What is our money? Anyway, we know our money is backed by nothing. We back it according to the dollar, which is backed by nothing.
Yeah.
Nonsense. However, how as a businessman are you able to remain above the water?
I'll tell you this. If it continues the way it's continuing, then that water, we're going to drown in that water. Okay? And I'm saying, I don't know about other businesses, but in this hospitality business, in the restaurant business, where on a daily basis, our suppliers, as soon as the dollar goes up, the price of, because we import everything under the sun. Well, I was looking for some toothpicks. We import toothpicks, and we have bamboo galore in this country. We import toothpicks, right? So once the city becomes weaker, and it takes more to buy a dollar, then we have a problem. And that's why we have a problem in Ghana, because we import everything under the sun.
Right.
Yeah, we make some. Yes, there's been incentives to add value, but it's not enough because we've been an import country forever. And even when there are initiatives to help manufacture stuff here, the import mafia, that's what I call them, they're not going to be happy. If you're a big importer of rice and sugar, you're big, you're making your millions of dollars, not cedis, you're making millions of cedis. And then the government is encouraging local production of rice, which actually a couple of years ago, before the the COVID stuff, they're producing quite a lot of rice up north in the Volta and so on. Yeah, and in fact, I was even buying local rice, which was comparable with the rice Ghanaian people like, the jasmine stuff from Vietnam, the polished one. I mean, that's what they like. So but you don't hear about that as much now. You see, so the problem in this business is because we import the chicken.
Import chicken?
Yes, of course. It's cheaper. It's cheaper to buy chicken from US or Brazil than Ghanaian chicken. That's a fact. Yes, I buy imported chicken, even though I have a friend who sells chicken, nice stuff. Really, you can tell it's nice organic stuff. But I can't buy that. I can buy it and cook in my house, but I can't buy it and sell here without the other business. Yeah, so that's a problem. Chicken, rice, oil, that's everything. Yeah, so, and then even if it's made in Ghana, even if it's plantain or yam or calamari from the sea or whatever, the price of the fuel inflates that price. And then we have the price gougers who take advantage and they're like, hey, everything's going up. Well, I'm increasing mine, even though I didn't have to make money. So then all around, so we're in a precarious position because when I saw it go to, is it $1 to 9 cedis? I don't know what it is. I don't check anymore. I'm definitely worried because on Monday we'll get a new price list from our major suppliers. We can't raise our prices every day.
Exactly.
We can't because there's a balance. Soon you chase all the customers away.
Exactly.
And in fact, because of this weak city, economic problems that we have in this country, our customers, our gross margin has reduced.
Right.
Whereas maybe if we had 30 or 40 people come in, it's half. It's half, and then the cost of supplies has increased, doubled, tripled in some instances. So I don't know which mathematician can work his way out of that.
Right.
It's not. It just doesn't look like it'll work.
Okay.
So
let me ask you. We are entrepreneurs because we are creative.
Yeah.
By nature.
Right.
And as you have stopped one business to start another in the same industry,
Yeah.
you have realized ways around.
Yeah.
How do you foresee the future? What is your likely navigation of this current terrain as it is?
Well, I'll tell you. We're in the restaurant business, but we're also in the agro business.
Okay.
Yeah, agro business. We have livestock.
Okay.
We make bread with orange sweet potato.
It's a bakery. You said you make bread.
Yeah.
Right.
We are hoping that the Supreme Court will rescind or rethink their position on the medical marijuana initiative, which I think would have created a whole new supply chain in Ghana.
You're interested in this new bill. Now, do you see any business potential?
Yeah.
I mean, we know there's business potential, but are you positioned in such a way that you might be able to take advantage of it?
Well, yeah, working on a business plan, finding out how to secure licenses for the different facets of the business, and we're just hoping that the regulation which was passed by Parliament was struck down by the Supreme Court. 43. Yeah, they said some procedural error. I understand they'll go back to the court for appeal. They'll appeal, right? So let's hope on appeal they actually affirm the constitutionality of the ruling, because it's a huge business,
Huge industry.
a huge industry. We're talking about not only the CBD oils and medicinal properties, the fact that it's used in cosmetics and all sorts of stuff, but we're looking also at the hemp, the sacks. I mean, we import cocoa sacks. Yeah, we do. Hemp, jute sack, same thing.
Right.
And we're really talking about hemp fiber,
Right.
seed, hemp seed for animal feed,
Right.
and they're like 1,000 different usages. So we're looking at that.
Okay.
And we're hoping that we'll be able to participate in that industry as well. So, as you said, in Ghana or in developing countries, you have to look at other businesses, even if you are doing okay or well in another,
Right.
because opportunities arise. Yeah, so you have to see where it is that you can make find opportunity and so on. Yeah, exactly.
So, at least now you are somewhat seasoned in your industry and as an entrepreneur. If you were to you mentioned that you would have gathered a bit more research prior, but if you were to start a business again in Ghana, how would you advise yourself, the younger you?
Once again, let's say the Osu restaurants, the first restaurants, Ringway Osu, the location was not correct.
Okay.
Now that I have more experience, if I'm opening a branch somewhere, I will not pick a location that is too removed from the main road or the main street or the action. As you can see, this location here, I mean, you end up getting a lot of traffic that, oh, look, there's a restaurant. I never heard of it. All right, we'll come back next week or let's stop for lunch. So the location here is amenable to that kind of business. So location is one. Secondly, whatever business that I will be going into, I'll do more research. Take some time, even if you're not using a professional, you yourself can query people in the business. Let them be honest with you, or find friends or acquaintances who may be in the business or know people that are in, and then again you find out the pros and cons of the businesses, and then talk to people who are in it. I mean, you're talking about me, but I think you're one of the premier manufacturers of share-based products and black soap products, I think, in the country, because I use your stuff and I've used stuff from all over. And if I were going to go into your business, or you have a brethren or sister coming from abroad who wants to get into your business, I know you'll help them out. Because you're not going to say, oh, they're going to come compete with me. It doesn't work that way. Their opportunities are here. If you can help somebody, I mean, people have come to me and about, how can you help me with the menu? I'll gladly do it. I won't even charge you. Because if I can help somebody become an entrepreneur, somebody strike out on their own, especially a younger person, I mean, I think it's really beneficial, not only to them personally, but to the country as a whole.
Exactly.
Yeah, because people come out of school, they need jobs. The biggest employer is the government. How does that work? And then they're scarce. The money they don't have, they use 70% to pay for salaries.
70%?
Yes, I'm telling you. They pay for salaries. We ask them, they'll tell you. They pay for salaries.
Okay.
So it's good to have people do their own business.
Right.
It's not easy. Everyone doesn't have support. I mean, I did, a relative or relatives, even my parents, but everyone doesn't have that opportunity. But nonetheless, if you can help someone along the way, you're helping the country as a whole. That's the way I look at it.
So tell me, would you say that the country that we're speaking of and the government that we're under is supportive of your endeavors? Have you felt support, or do you feel like you're getting extorted, or is it a business-friendly environment, is what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, it depends on what kind of business you are in, but there are quite a few facets or quite a few answers to your question. In establishing this place, I was able to get a grant from Ministry of Tourism. They had some money that they were giving out, and I applied for it. Right, and I applied for it.
I'm sorry, was that around the time of lockdown? Was it part of the government's
It was after the lockdown
Right.
or something of that sort. It was
So it was a stimulus.
before I opened. Yeah, it was some kind of stimulus thing.
Right.
It's last year before I opened up.
Okay. I mean, I mentioned that
Maybe a year ago.
Right.
I would say.
because I know the government received something of 25 billion in aid from. So it's good to see someone that's actually.
Yeah.
from
In fact, when I got through, because you have to answer all sorts of questions. Fine, you have to show that
so
you pay taxes.
like what? Okay.
You know, you have to show certificates.
Right.
You know, state.
Tax
If you have an
bills.
employee, you have to do that, which makes sense.
Right.
You have to answer questions about like, so what would you use the money for? How many employees do you mission? Do you have a concern already? And if you do, give us some names of employees so we can talk to. Right. So when we went to collect or went to the to sign up, and we realized that we've been chosen, I was surprised to see many people, and this was
many people. What?
with businesses who were also there.
Nice.
Some were even
And were they getting the
competitors.
support?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was happy with that, and this was just in the hospitality section. There were hotels, there were restaurants, there were designers.
What was the process? Meaning, was it because in Ghana it seems everything is you push it through.
Well,
were you just,
no. Not interestingly enough. I'm happy to report that I didn't have to try and pull any strings.
Okay.
But I was lucky that I got to hear about it.
Okay.
Maybe it was in the Daily Graphic or mainstream news and stuff. But somebody tipped me off. I was like, yo, aren't you going to apply for what? They're like, yo, they're giving out some grants. I said, grants? Really? Where? Go online, do this, do that. I went online, I did it. And I got through.
Okay.
They sent me a letter. I went there.
How long did it take? From the time
It took some months.
Okay.
Yeah, it took about maybe 3 months or so. So I applied, I got it. Got the check. Quickly used it to augment what I was doing here.
Right.
They've done a follow-up survey.
Okay.
What do you use the money for?
Right.
Or this is what you said you used it for. Is that what you used it for?
Right.
List your employees and their phone numbers, which I thought was good.
Right.
Because call them.
Exactly.
Because I know I used the money for what the intended purpose. I didn't jump on a plane to Dubai, right?
Right.
So I was happy to see that.
Right.
That was the hospitality industry.
Okay.
As you know, the year of return, man, this COVID thing,
Mashallah.
because, let me tell you, you were here, you guys were here. The year of return thing was like, you're like a plane taxiing on a runway, right? Your nose picked up, you're about to jet off, and then the control tower says, abort the flight or something.
Right.
I'm telling you, because the amount of business and the amount of people that rushed over here, I don't know who came up with that initiative,
Right.
but they deserve a medal.
Truth of the matter is, that initiative is an old initiative because it was Rollins who came in '96 to the U.S. who said we should all return.
Well, it's been like that. Or we can even go further back and say,
No.
What?
If you're saying Kuma, his was not a tourist initiative.
It wasn't a tourist. Yeah, it wasn't
his
a tourist.
was like come home.
It was come
got you.
Yes.
But all from Rollins to the current president, their campaign has simply been a ton of sin, but they're not facilitating us on any real significant
well,
level.
that should go hand in hand, shouldn't it?
It's precisely what I was saying.
What I do recall a year or two ago was, in fact, I have an African American friend who went to the seat of government. I think they were trying to facilitate them getting their citizenship, and I thought that was a good look.
Yes, it's a very good look. It's a very good
look because it's there in theory,
Right.
How easy is it to
How
get?
easy and how practical and how many people, what percentage of
Yes.
the people that's on the
So
ground
they need
is
to work that out
qualified?
because I know that you see, we're always rushing for foreigners, as in Europeans and now Chinese and Indian, to rush to our aid. Where we have brothers and sisters who have the knowledge and capability and the love and talent to come here and make a difference.
Right.
For example, this lady I'm talking about, I remember I asked her, when are you going back to Colorado, America? She said, what? She says, I ain't going back. She says, if they want, they can come visit me here.
Exactly.
And she's doing her thing, different things. You know, Dr. Carnita.
Oh,
Oh, you know, oh, my bad, of course you do. And then I met other people. And so my point is that we need to be more practical and help people attain their dream. Because we say, come home. Come home and do what?
Right.
So let's make it easier for them to come home. But as I was saying, even the response, even the short-term gains that we had from thousands of people, like I know people that came in, friends of mine from Brooklyn, their sisters, before she left, after I had facilitated her buying about 20 outfits from tailors, taking trips with drivers to this fall and that fall, eating all sorts of banku and you know, they were just chilling.
Right.
They bought their tickets before they left here to come back the next year.
Exactly.
You understand?
Exactly.
So I know there was an influx of cash that we needed. Then there were people that were like, yo, I'm gonna come live here. You know, maybe they'll meet somebody like you. Yeah, when did you school them on that? They're like, yeah, let me look into it. You know, because I want to move from England, or I want to retire from America, and I think I can do something here. You know, yeah, when you come here, you meet all sorts of obstacles, but that's how it is. And if you move to China, can you open a store, a business? No. That's what I tell people all the time. But you can move here, and you're in a retail business, which you shouldn't even be in. Maybe if you have a factory employing people, fine. But you're in Makola selling. Why is that possible? Where you could never open a store in China.
Exactly.
Or even become a resident in such a short time. So we have a problem here that we need to. I think we favor some kind of people, and we need to favor ourselves. How about that? Yeah, that's what we need to do.
That's the wealth of ours that we are ignoring.
Yeah. We need to. If we want to bring people home, people with talent, then we need to really look at people who are ourselves, and the diaspora, whether they're Ghanaian or they're Caribbean or they're American or whatever. People who identify with us because they know where they're from. They could have been born here, they could have been born elsewhere, but this is their home and their roots, and they want to genuinely make a difference. It's not just about, let me come in and do illegal mining and make money and take it out of the country.
Which is precisely.
Let me come here, let me not pay any import duties or taxes, and then siphon the money quickly. And the thing is, with our own help, because how do you take $1 million out of this country? How do you do it? You have to have somebody that helps you. So, right? So we can be our own worst enemy, and we need to look out for our interests and not sell ourselves so cheaply. And that's one of our problems.
So now you have done what you've done to this point. Clearly, you are still evolving as an entrepreneur and still growing as a man. What would you like your legacy to read once you have finished all that you have done?
You know what? I like money. I'm not gonna front.
Of course.
Yeah, I like to live a good, comfortable life. But you know what? What I like the most is to help. I wouldn't call them downtrodden people per se, but to help those who need a hand. I mean, I spent a good chunk of money I make on people that need help every day. Sometimes I'm like, oh my god, why did I open this Pandora's box? Because calls left and right, and then when you help someone, people think that maybe you are even more well off than you appear. And I admit I look fly, right? You know what I mean? I admit it, but
Right.
no, we all have our struggles, but that's what I like to do. I want to even have a foundation. I have disabled people that I look out for, and I wish I could. Well, not I wish. I want to have some sort of school for disabled people. Those that can use their upper body of their arms, we train them to do something. Those that can, you train them to do something, and then you try to get employment for them, or through maybe your own companies, or people that also have so I look at, because sometimes we sort of cast people away because they're not perfect. What is perfect? Perfect means what? But you see people begging on the street and so on, or even people with mental challenges. If you don't have the money to go to these clinics, I mean, you can't even go to the public hospital. There's a waiting list, so you end up on the street. Those are my type of people that need a hand. They don't have anything, who appreciate the small help that you can give them. So that's so my legacy is not so much in this business per se. Yeah, I want Soul to have a good name, great service, great food, but the bottom line is making money so I can help the less fortunate. That's what turns me on.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's
Let
what
me ask you one other
yeah.
question. Have you ever considered a partner of any sort? And if so,
Oh yeah.
what would that partner bring to the table? What is it that you need?
Oh, we always need more money. Yeah. I have partners. I have relatives I work with. It's just that I manage it. I have relatives that have invested in the business. So, you want to be successful to give them a return on their money.
Of course.
You so because they trusted you. So it's not as if I don't work with people. It's not a sole proprietorship.
Right.
None of the businesses I'm in is sole proprietorship. So I already work with people. But if I'm working with somebody, it's really for the capital, because Ghana is a capital intensive place, because you might as well go to a loan shark. I don't know if people really know, but yeah, you might as well go to someone who lends money at a high rate than go to a bank, right? Which is unfortunate.
Right.
So
Banks are not very
they're not. They're not. It's certainly not of a startup.
Right.
No, you're not getting any money from any bank from anywhere, unless you have maybe 2 acres of land in East Legon as collateral,
Right.
which they'll take in a heartbeat. So
Exactly.
we avoid banks where we can,
Right.
and try, which is why I work with
Family.
family.
So there's no skill set per se that you would like to incorporate into your
Oh,
business?
well, of course. I work, but the manager here is a relative. He's very skillful, a manager. His customer service base is from the US, which, whether you like it or not, is the paragon of customer service.
Right.
Customer service here in Ghana, we have a long way to go to even get to the level of like Kenya, South Africa. Those places, they're used to tourists. You see, that's one underutilized industry, which is why the tourism ministry gave grants. In fact, I remember the minister saying they want to really ramp up tourism. Because, I mean, It can be done. Look at Caribbean countries. Do they have gold? Do they have diamonds? No. But
beaches.
they have beaches.
Right.
And they have great hotels, resorts, service. And so we need to learn how to be service oriented. Now when you go to somebody's store, they have an attitude. You go to somebody's, you say hello, they don't even greet you back. That's the typical Ghanaian idea. But that's changing, and we want to be part of in the forefront of that change, where good service is routine. It's not extraordinary. Oh my God, the service was so good. What do you mean by service? I'm paying money for the service. It's not free. Which is like we had a customer service thing where someone asked who pays their salary. Everyone was like, "Oh, he does." I don't pay the salary. I have in the past, but I don't pay the salary. The customer pays the salary.
Exactly.
So if you understand that the customer pays the salary, then you treat the customer the way the customer is going to be treated. Attention, some kind of, if you don't want to call it joy, but at least have a bright face,
Smile.
You get me?
Exactly.
Yeah, because they're the ones that pay your salary, not me.
Exactly.
Because at some point, if you don't make enough money, I told them this last week, we don't make enough money. When I close this place, I'm okay.
Right.
I'm not going to stop.
Right.
I can say I have one less restaurant.
Exactly.
And I asked, so what job will you do? And they just looked at me. So that's how workers have to understand and stop being so adversarial with owners or managers. This is our business.
Right.
Yeah, maybe you're not a shareholder, but you get paid from here, right?
Exactly.
Right? You're able to eat because of that, right? Maybe take care of your kids or whoever. So you are a shareholder.
Exactly.
And if you have that attitude, then we can work together and then build it up. And as I told them, we're going up, you're going up too. That's it, So that's the mentality that we need to
instill.
Yeah, it's still. That's what's up. Yeah.
My brother, it's a pleasure
Yes.
to sit with you.
It's my pleasure.
It's a pleasure to hear your story and to see the progress that you've made over the years, and to see you continuing to grow.
Still a work in progress.
Absolutely, but it's a wonderful work, and we are impressed.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. But not more than I'm impressed with your products. This is not. I'm not trying to pitch RFC products, but number one, man. I don't. You know what I mean? I don't wake up without them. See the beard?
Yes,
Beard is straight up, man.
Yes,
what am I using now? Is this sandalwood shea butter?
yeah.
Today was I switched between the lavender and the is this spearmint?
Yes.
A body wash. I don't do anything without.
That is a fact. As a matter of fact, I've known this man.
I don't do anything without RFC, man.
Very reliable.
Yeah,
so we are grateful.
I don't know. I forgot where I saw it. I think I was buying it from somebody. Oh no, my sister. My sister, I visited her in Nairobi.
Okay.
So I'm in the guest room.
In Nairobi.
Yeah, Nairobi. My sister, she used to live there, right? So I'm in the guest room, take a shower. Oh, what's this? RFC. I said, oh. I said, is this from the US or something? The way on the package.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh, this is nice. Then I looked, I said, oh, made in Ghana. I said, what? So I asked her, she said, yeah, this is my favorite. I said, where? Oh, I said, I don't know, I bought it from somewhere.
Right.
And then I was able to find you. So that was some years ago. So big up yourself, man. That's area number one. All right?
If you love the vibe, subscribe.